My life, like many of yours, is filled with lots of wonderful things to include working, writing, creating, gardening, exercising, and cooking. Yes, cooking. I'm on a mission to change the way we see, experience, and relate to food. The concept of Sankofa reminds us to go back and fetch what was essential for maintaining a quality and wholesome lifestyle and apply it to modern day practices. So, would you like to join me at the table? Hey family, just another day at the park on this beautiful fall day. Thought I'd get out and about and come and chit chat with you guys as I had more tips on health and wellness and transitioning to a healthier lifestyle to share with you. And if you didn't see part 1, go check it out on YouTube. So I find a perfect spot by a big old tree and by the water to get set up, get all my goodies unpacked and everything, and sit down for a chit chat. And as you can see, I'm racing against this gusty wind. Welcome back to my Sankofa table. I am your host, Tia Capers, and on this program, we focus all things health and wellness. I do want to just share with you or remind you to cut out, cut back, and substitute as best as you can. You know, we're talking to people, we're talking to friends, family members, co-workers, church members, neighbors. We're talking to all different people. We're meeting in the lines at the grocery stores or other places, and you're hearing about different illnesses. And as I've noticed that some of these people are getting younger and younger, okay, because it used to be where you would hear about people with high blood pressure, high cholesterol, heart problems, gout, all these things, and they were like older people. Not so much nowadays. Nowadays, it's people in their 20s, 30s who are having like major health issues, health problems, and a lot of it stems from what we're putting in our mouth. Like today, I'm out here at the beautiful Ramsey Creek Park. And it's a nice fall day. It's a crisp day. It's a windy day, so if it's picking up a lot of the wind, I apologize in advance for that. Hope it don't run you away. Today I've packed a little light because I had a wonderful heavy brunch earlier. So today I just have some cut up oranges. I have an apple. I have a smoothie that I made last night. And I have some, instead of my plantain chips, I have chickpea snacks today. We got to keep in mind as technology changes and enhances, so is this bioengineered food. Okay, there's a little bee. All right, go on, bee. I think sometimes I attract the bees. This is a side note, because I wear a lot of the natural, like essential oils and natural fragrances, vegan fragrances, and when I come outside I notice that a lot of bees and stuff will come around me, so beware of that. So when you're changing your perfumes and oils and lotions and such, that might happen to you. But recently I did see something online about bioengineered foods, and it made me start thinking we really got to pay attention to these labels on foods. We just have to. Make sure you're reading not just the ingredients, but reading that fine print to make sure that your food does not have bioengineered products if that's not what you want. Okay, watch out for it on meats, watch out for it on processed foods. I don't know where else it's popping up at, but be careful and watch out for those things. Watch out for words that you may not understand. Don't be afraid to pull out your smartphone or your smart device, your smartwatch, whatever you have. Look that stuff up. Look it up, make sure you have a clear understanding, make decisions you can live with when it comes to putting things in your body. If you don't want anything artificially made or man-made, in your body that's not going to give you the nutritional value that you need, then stay away from it. Cut it out or cut back as much as you can. Okay, there are a lot of words. I mean, you have natural flavors, natural this, natural that. It's not really natural, guys. It's made up in the labs. Now you have even a situation where I'm hearing that they're putting shellac on fruit to make it nice and shiny. Now, I will say, recently I bought a bag of organic apples from the grocery store, and it was too shiny and like waxy for me. It was organic, it was in a bag, but it was just something about it. And I said, no way. I took them back to the store. I like to get the organic apples that when you just give them a wash, they squeak, okay? That's a telltale sign that there's no extra wax and shellac. And look up where they're getting this shellac. I'm hearing that it's coming from some cockroach or something. I don't know if that's true. I don't know how they make it, but I know that's something that I don't necessarily want to eat. So be careful of some of your fruits and vegetables. Make sure those fruits and vegetables have seeds as best as you can. Most of the time, when I can, as often as I can, I try to buy organic fruits and vegetables. Okay, and when I don't, I take them home and I scrub the crap out of them. A lot of times I'll peel them and won't even eat the peel. But when you're buying these organic fruits and vegetables or inorganic, make sure they have seeds. Okay, make sure they have seeds. Recently, I bought some apples from a different store. They were organic, but they did not have a seed. I ate it all the way down to like really close to the core, no seed. And then I thought, okay, maybe the seed dropped out. All right, maybe, I don't know, I'm eating it in the car, it's dark, I don't know, maybe the seed, I ate it down so far that the seed dropped out. Okay, so I went with that theory. Well, I ate another one from that batch like the next day, because I usually eat an apple a day for the most part. They're quick, easy, I just throw them in my lunch bag. When I'm wanting to snack on something, I eat an apple. No seed the second day. And I'm like, okay, so the first day, it was not a coincidence. There was really not a seed in there. So it made me really skeptical. How are they growing apples with no seeds? I've also recently bought oranges, no seeds. I think all summer I went through several bags of oranges, organic, no seed. I was so disappointed. You cut one open, no seed. The last 2 or 3 bags that I've bought had seeds. So I'm happy. I have a seed. I don't eat grapes a whole lot because it's hard to find them, not only organic, but seeded. It's hard to find watermelons with seeds. It's very rare. Some grocery stores will have seeded watermelons, so I look for those. So unfortunately, around the early summertime, up until late summer, I may only be able to partake in about 3 watermelons because there are no seeds, and I just don't even buy them. Oh, let me just tell you this. Nowadays, even healthcare professionals are not on top of their health and wellness. In my humble opinion, I'm a partial caretaker for my mom. She has some health challenges that she's been dealing with for the last about 12 years. So I've been in and out of hospitals, in and out of nursing homes, dealing back and forth with medical professionals that have taken care of her at the house. And I'm telling you, y'all, nurses don't look like they used to. Doctors don't look like they used to. Folk are thickening up, not necessarily as slim as they used to be. So it makes me wonder, we even have caretakers, okay, that are caring for us when we're in the hospital and in different places, and our loved ones that aren't on top of their health and wellness. I have a lot of them. I've come in contact with hundreds of them that, if they start, because again, y'all know I don't necessarily, I'm not the food police. I don't engage a whole lot in conversation, but if you start talking to me about health and wellness, I will oblige you with a conversation with any information that I know that I can share, that I can help with. But a lot of them engage me in conversation. And it's amazing that they have a lot of health challenges that the same people they're caring for have. So it's kind of scary because you're looking at this person that's about, they got some size on them. And with the size comes health challenges. They have high blood pressure. They have high cholesterol. They might have heart problems. They may have joint problems from carrying all the weight. They may have liver problems, kidney problems. They may have a plethora of problems, and a lot of it has to do with what we are putting in our bodies. I'm looking at the doctor, and not my personal doctor, but I'm looking at some of these doctors, and I'm just like, I'm in shock, because how is this person going to encourage me, educate me, help me along my health and wellness, or maintain my health and wellness, and and they're not even doing their own. And I'm not shading anybody. I'm just pointing out the obvious. And for those of y'all that are going back and forth to the doctor, going back and forth to the clinics, going back and forth to check on loved ones that are in facilities, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not making this up. This is something we really have to think about, which leads me to thinking about our family members, okay? And our friends, people that are closest to us. Make sure we're being nice and pleasant and humble to these people, because some of these people might be taking care of us someday. We never know. Even if we're eating healthy, even if we're doing all the right things, we're exercising, you don't know. You can go, I can pull out of this parking lot today at this park and have a situation. I can have an accident that cripples me, where I'm in a nursing home, I'm in a hospital, I'm at home with caretakers. So I'm not exempt. You're not exempt. Nobody's exempt from a medical crisis in your life. So as best as you can, try to establish and maintain healthy relationships with people, because when we look around, a lot of us don't have a lot of people in our circles. I'm pretty much a loner. Outside of my kids and my closest family members and friends, that's about it. And if I have a situation, who's going to care for me? Who's going to be an advocate for me? Even if the person is not caring for you specifically, who's going to be out there to that hospital asking all the right questions? Who's going to be out there advocating for you? Who's going to be asking to review your medicine list? Who's going to be doing those things? Who's going to be coming to the nursing home or to the assisted living facility checking on you? Oh, start asking yourself. I'm getting older. As we wake up every day, we're getting older. We're getting closer and closer to a day that just might be our reality. So make sure you establish good, healthy relationships and maintain those relationships, because we need each other. You know, you don't know when you're going to need somebody, right? And it's also healthy to have good energy too. Now, we don't want to be walking around here with jacked up energy and stuff. So maintain good relationships, good friendships, healthy vibes, good vibes, positive energy everywhere we go. So it makes people want to be around you. It makes people want to check on you. It makes people want to call you, right? And that makes me think about something else. We have to make sure that when we're on these medications, okay, that we read those ingredients too, because medicines have ingredients. I don't know if I've said this before, but some of us, as we get older, we may have to take a vitamin D supplement. That's a very common thing. If we're not out in the sun absorbing all of this natural vitamin D, okay, or getting it through some food source, you might have to take a supplement. Now, back in the day, before I was even vegan, I was still trying to be aware of certain things, like staying away from the dyes and the food colorings, the artificial flavors, and all the things. I was still trying to be mindful of that, because I noticed that when I would eat certain things with certain dyes, I would get a migraine. So I started cutting back certain things in my, that I consume. Some of these gel vitamin D little gel tablets, they have dye in them, y'all. They're green. The one I was prescribed was green. And so when I became vegan and I started back, or my doctor thought I might need a little bit more vitamin D, when I went to the pharmacy to pick it up, I asked to see the ingredients. And I talked to the pharmacist about the ingredients. And when I saw the green dye, and when I saw bovine, it comes from a cow, I thought, no, I don't want this one. So they were able to swap me out one that was vegan. It was a white, more of a caplet. Be aware that even your medicines will have things in there that you may not want to no longer consume. So be aware, read even, and I know it's a long list. It's like front and back of a long page. It's the fine writing. Put your reading glasses on if you need to. Get your magnifying glass out. Make sure you're intentional and make sure you are checking out what you are consuming, okay? Speaking of caring for loved ones, I have arranged that the caretakers of my mom, they have a FaceTime call with me. So I'll be right back. I'm going to answer this FaceTime call because I'm going to FaceTime my mommy and see how she's doing and check in on her health and wellness. And I'll be back after this short break, and I will see you guys when I return. If you're still interested in what I have to say, stick around, stay tuned, tell somebody, and come back and tune in. See you in a minute. Welcome back, families. Thanks for sticking around. So, as I was saying, make sure we check in on our loved ones, make sure we keep a close relationship with them, make sure we're advocating for them, and doing whatever we can do to make their life a little bit nicer, a little bit more cared for. A lot of these people have taken care of us. I will say that my mom took really good care, my mom and my dad took really good care of my brother and I. And so the least I can do is advocate for her on an ongoing basis as long as she needs it. Just want to touch a little bit on herbs. Now, I have an herb garden at home. I have sage. I tried a little bit of chamomile this year. Didn't do so well, but I'm going to try again. I have parsley, I have mint, and I have rosemary. And believe it or not, my rosemary is about as tall as I am. So, but keep in mind, like me, I really can't consume all the herbs that I grow. So keep in mind, you can always dry those out. You can just cut them, wash them off, hang them inside or outside to dry. You can use those, all year round in your food dishes, or make a friend, share them with somebody. You can put them in your, you can infuse them in either your drinks, or you can infuse them in your oils. You can make all type of herbal remedies and different concoctions. I know a friend of mine, shout out LaDonna, I gave her a bunch of my rosemary, and I think she was going to make some type of hair or scalp oil with it. I oftentimes will put mint in my water. I don't have any in there today. I just have there it is. I just have lime slices in there. Yesterday I had some orange slices in my water. So you can infuse things with them. You can take them and make teas with them, like the chamomile I was growing. You can do salves. You can make all types of things. Go out there. It's a bunch of information out there online. Don't be afraid to research, look up stuff. But what I do want to say is that taking herbal supplements have now become a little bit more popular nowadays than, it used to be, and maybe in the last 5+ years. And I think a lot of that has to do with the online presence that it's getting. We have all these online outlets, and we have all these experts out here. But, again, do your research. But don't be misled. Don't think that one little piece of herb is going to cure some heart problem, or cure some liver problem, or cure some other major problem. Keep in mind that along with those herbs, you also may need to change what you're eating, right? Change your lifestyle, maybe exercise more, drink some more water. One herb is not going to just cure you overnight, but herbs do play a big part in maintaining a healthy lifestyle. And they will help cure some things. If taken right, if taken properly, if taken enough. And don't give up on them either, people, because I know sometimes we want stuff to happen immediately. Sometimes it takes weeks for those herbs, sometimes months to really get in and effect change. I know for me, I mix up a concoction, a tea concoction for my little menopause symptoms here, like some hot flashes. And sometimes if I'm having hot flashes, which is not often, it may take me a week and a half, 2 weeks to start back drinking my herbal tea that I've mixed up to rid the hot flashes. So it's not like I can drink 1 cup of it and I'm good. No, it takes a minute to re-regulate my hormones where I won't have those hot flashes anymore. If you follow me on Instagram, you already know, I think I already gave up that recipe. So go check it out. And and get on top of that recipe if you need it, or if you know somebody that needs it. So But herbs are really good, and they're a lot of them are easy to grow too. Some of them, make sure you're using them properly, because not all of them are meant to be maybe ingested. Maybe you need to just make a tea with them, or a topical with them. So make sure you study. There are a lot of books out there. A lot of times you can go to the bookstore and find some of these books on clearance even. I've bought several of them. And family, it's so windy out here. The wind completely blew over my camera, so I had to switch angles, so bear with me. But as I was saying about the herbs, just be mindful. Do as much research as you can. Make sure, you're using them properly. Make sure you're being patient with using them and giving them time to do what it is you expect for them to do. Okay, so in closing, the last thing I do want to remind you guys of is, I know we touched on checking on our loved ones and all that kind of stuff, but we need to be prepared for not just, if our loved ones have a situation, but if we have a situation, in the sense of, do you have a living will? Do you have a durable or medical power of attorney? Because if you have an emergency medical situation, there may not be time. You may not be coherent enough to make a decision for yourself. Somebody may have to step up and make a decision, a life-changing or prolonging decision for you. Make sure the people that are, or the person that is in that position for you, understands your wishes. If you want to be resuscitated, make sure they understand, hey, whatever it takes, by any means, bring me back. I can't tell you how many times I've had to answer that question for my mom. Then I've had to double check with my mom too, because she's had so many health challenges. Maybe that loved one no longer wants to be, prolonged, so have those conversations now while you can, because you may be in a situation where you can't, and you don't want that to happen. You want to be where you're as prepared as possible for any type of situation that may come about, that you may not know it's coming about. My mom didn't know she was going to have a brain tumor. She didn't know she was going to have brain surgery. My mom was the picture of health. So even those of us who care about our health and wellness, you still never know when that time may come when somebody has to step up and speak on your behalf. I was speaking with a young lady one day, and she was sharing with me that her sister had a medical situation, and she had gotten COVID, ended up having all of these health challenges as a result of having COVID, and they were giving her sister like a 20% chance to live. They had her hooked on all type of machinery, to help her breathe and stay alive. And unfortunately, they called all the family, hey, she's only got a 20% chance. Should we pull the plug? Thankfully, her daughter was her medical durable power of attorney and made the decision not to pull the plug on her mom. Now, this young lady, from what I understand, had a husband, or has a husband, who was in agreement, okay, fine, if we got to pull the plug, okay, fine, if she's not going to live. Had it been left up to the husband, she might not be here. Lo and behold, the daughter, who was an adult, thankfully, had that, permissions already set up that she could make those decisions on her mom's behalf. Might I tell you that that lady survived, is living. She's a police officer, from what I understand, and she's back at work. Okay. Had not the right person, or a person, been appointed in charge to make that decision for her, she may not be here today. So we're glad that she's still around, but this really opened my eyes to say, make sure we have people in places that can make decisions, speak on our behalf, advocate for us, ask questions, challenge. Sometimes you may have to challenge some of these medical professionals. I mean, we respect them and all, and we respect their professionalism, but, I've learned a lot of stuff along this journey with my mom. So if I see something that's not quite right, I feel empowered to speak up on my mom's behalf, because she can't all the time speak for herself. I've learned way more than I ever thought I would need to learn about the brain and about, other challenges that come with having a traumatic brain injury. But I'm thankful that I know these things, and I'm thankful that I have continued and didn't give up on my mom. Here recently, my mom had a situation where somebody thought she was being a little aggressive, but they didn't understand how her brain injury affects her or impacts her muscle movement. And what they thought was an aggressive movement was not at all, because that person didn't know. They went back and told everybody else, oh, she was a little aggressive. Lo and behold, they put my mom on some anxiety medicine and didn't even inform me. So I started asking questions, and periodically I will review her medication list to make sure she's still taking the medicine that I think she's taking for her situation. She's still taking the same dosage or less of a dose, because my goal is to get her off of any medicine that she doesn't need. But lo and behold, she was on an anxiety medicine 3 times a day, and it was one that was very hard to kind of wean off. So I had to challenge the professionals. I had to ask questions, and I had to make it be known, my mom doesn't need this. So we're going to have to get her off of this. And they did. But had I not asked to see that medicine list, had I not asked questions, had I not, known these things or been around to even know that this was going on, who knows what medicine they might have my mom, who I love and who I'm an advocate for, hooked up with. So this is a very important thing. We never know when we're going to be, a lot of us are just a situation away from being where we need caretakers. Some of us already have caretakers. Some of us already on medicine. Some of us already have health challenges. So I really want us to, as we're winding down, this is the fall season. We're going to go into winter. We're going to go into a new year. We're going to go into 2024. What are your goals? And when are you going to start those? And if not now, then when? Because it's serious out here, and a lot of people are dying who don't have to. True, we're all going to die. But we want to live the best quality of life that we can while we can. So I encourage you. I'm hopeful that, this program has served some type of, positive, meaning in your lives, and people that you've shared it with. I appreciate you guys tuning in and supporting. My time is about up on this episode today and for my Sankofa table. We have about 2 to 3 more after this episode airs. We'll have 2 more. We'll have an episode in November and one in December, but I will be bringing the show to an end. I appreciate you guys for, sticking in there with me along the way. It's been a learning experience. I've had a lot of testimonies, so I'm glad that I have impacted you all in some capacity, and I continue to do so in other areas. I wear many hats. Those of you that know me personally know that I'm a book publisher, I'm a children's book author, I'm a jewelry designer, I'm a vegan cook. I work a 9-to-5 day job in corporate America. I produce this TV program and have done it for almost 2 years now. So I wear a lot of hats. I try to stay balanced, try to, work on my health and wellness and get more sleep, because we definitely got to, make sure we're eating, we're exercising, but we got to get that sleep in. Okay, we got to get that in, because our cells will not replenish without the proper amount of rest. Those are my tips. To watch previous episodes, please, I have a YouTube channel. So look me up, Tia Capers, on YouTube. I'm in other social media spaces. I'm on Instagram. I'm on a Facebook group called My Sankofa Table. If you're interested in knowing what I'm cooking on a day-to-day basis, or what's in my lunch box or whatever, or tips that I might have, recipes I might share, feel free to join that group. Tell others about the group, and I'll continue sharing in those spaces. And again, I can't thank you enough for coming along this journey with me. So this has been today's episode. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you